Okay, this is our first look at Jack Jones. He's working on just the beginning part of the turn, and then we'll go ahead and hit it. So we like to um, do the first part of the turn, go back and hit, and then first part of the turn, go back and hit, trying to build some muscle memory. So let's take this back and start to break it down a little bit. Okay, so in looking at the front leg, uh, there's a big breakdown there. We actually would like to be just straight in that front leg. No knee bend at all when we hit it. So in our setup, we talk a lot about being into our knees, and we want to have flex knees, and that's great. But when we turn to hit, we want to finish with a stiff front leg. His back leg is pretty good. So just for a point of reference, a perfect major league back leg would look like that. It'd almost be 90 degrees, and again the front leg would be straight. But it's good that he's already, doing a good job of turning, and he's got some flex in that knee, and the back foot actually looks pretty good. Right, so we talk a lot about getting our heel back to the catcher or our heel back to the umpire, and so that's pretty good. The bat's a little high here. It actually would want it to be his hands to be about in here, and the bat somewhere right around the top of his shoulder or just next to his shoulder. But you'll see that he quickly corrects that once we call it out. So he lowers it down. He kind of gets it. Now he's going to go back and he's going to hit, and we see really frankly that he's coachable because we'll see immediate improvement here. So we talk to him here. This is where I'm telling him, hey, I want you to finish with a stiff front leg. I don't want that to break down, I think is the terminology I was using. And so sure enough, he got there, right? Back leg wasn't quite as good, but the back foot's really good. We can take this back and see if we got to where, yep, that's pretty good, right? So we've got decent angle here, and still, even in this frame, he was able to maintain that stiff front leg that we asked him to. So that's really good. There's a lot of little things to work on, so it's interesting. You can see where he actually clipped the rubber on the tee here, as opposed to maybe getting a little bit more of the baseball. That's a minor thing. That's easy for us to work on. When I didn't pitch to Jack at the end of the night, but one of our older players did, and commented to me that hey, he's an athlete. He was able to pick some things up pretty quickly, which is good, and that tells me that it would be great if he keeps coming on Friday nights, because I think he's going to quickly accelerate, and we can get him into a really good fundamental hitter. So hopefully he'll keep coming. Hopefully he had fun. Certainly part of what we try to do is help them to have fun. But it was really a good first night. I would say long term or over the next 6 or 8 weeks or whatever, I would continue to work with Jack on his grip. He needs to. He knows where the grip should be, but I saw the grip get loose a lot throughout the game, and loose is the wrong word. Revert back to not having his knuckles lined up the way we would want. So I try to pay attention to his grip. I still try to pay attention to his front leg, and then if we take this back, just kind of his hands are in a good spot, but sometimes they get a little loose in where we're turning from and that kind of thing. But overall, a good night, and hopefully he'll continue to come on Friday nights.